Right, there we go. A quick usual old check, everything's alright. Come on, come on. I'm on it now. Quick usual old check. I'll say now I'm next to lake record holder Ashley, who's going to give me a lesson. Royalties? Only if you're royal. Right. So anyway, lake record holder. There he is, Ashley. All right. Is it £300? It's going to go shy now. Right, Ashley is going to give me a lesson in shallow fishing on the pole, I reckon, today. Right. What are we doing? Why doesn't that phone cable want to charge? I know, but I can't see them. That's the problem. I'm just going to thrash the pole around. I'm straight. He's all chatty now. He's all chatty. Right. What are we doing? Why won't that charge? We'll sort it out in a minute. Welcome to Gold Valley for the Sunday Open. You join me on peg 131 on Syndicate Lake. Just having a little discussion with Ashley. He says there's fish in front of me. I can't see them. I've got a ripple and a bunch of white water. So I might have to use the force today when I'm flicking that rig around. But anyway, here we go. Let's go through the rigs and have a quick chat about what's going on. So bomb rod today, you've seen it before, 8 £ST, 2/3 of a gram, 2/3 of an ounce I should say, bomb, 019 hook length, size 12 QM1. That's going to be used today. Second rig also going to get used today is my waggler from the other day, from the Fisho qualifier. It's a 9 gram pellet waggler carper balsa one, 8 £ST, 1 metre hook length, down to a size 12 pellet waggler hook with a band. I've got a method feeder set up today, which is for fishing over the bomb line if the bites are a bit iffy. It's not set up to the rope. Might be a bad idea, might not. I can see a fish cruising out there, but I don't think it's really long enough. So 24 gram Guru hybrid feeder, short 4-inch hook length, size 12 QM1 with a bait spike. And then I've got 3 pole rigs for today. Rig number 1 is a dobbin rig, one of those small 0.4 drilling crystal floats, long hook length, 12 inches. I've got a band with an 8mm pellet on it. I might use some dead maggots. I've got an edge rig to my right. Excuse me. 0.4 crystal, black hydro, 021 to 019 double cord. I'm going to fish down there. I'm going to chuck pellets down there during the day. And then out in front of me, I'm on the silverfish pool, so I'm going to put some ground bait in, try and catch a bream or 2. 4B16 float, white hydro, 017 to 013 hook length. I've got a bulk 1 dropper, size 18 SLWG. That's the plan. Morning John, morning Gavin. I don't know what, Julian is on 110. He's opposite actually. He's opposite me. The 2 anglers that you can see in front of me, he's on my right hand side, he's waving. There he is. He's streaming as well today. Maybe it's just Graham versus Julian. Right, and I need to work out why this phone is not taking charge. There we go. Right, how long have we got? 7 minutes. So plan of action today, I'm going to put some ground bait out on the pole line. I'm going to put quite a bit out actually. I'm going to chuck some pellets down my right hand side. I might chuck some pellets down my left hand side. Ashley's in my next peg, so I don't think fish are really going to come in short left. But what the heck, I can chuck a few pellets down there in case I'm desperate. Might drop the method down there. I'm going to fish on the waggler, start on the waggler. I'm going to fire pellets out. and I'm going to go on the bomb later if I see fish cruising, which I don't. Then there's one over there. Then I'll see if I can dob a few. But the wind's blowing in my face. I probably wanted to draw on the far bank today. I think it's going to be a little bit like it was on the fish show, which is more fish on that side and easier to see them. So let's see. Fly casting, that waggler is going to go on again today, I think. So I will get that ready. Well, at least there's fish moving today on this waggler line. Same as last week. I think I'm going to start off by just casting this waggler around, and then I'll think about feeding and fishing the bomb line. Got a pellet on there. Just need to get that pole sorted out because I'm going to feed that pole line first. Pole waller around. Second gear. Get all set up, and then 5 minutes before the match I said I don't like it. It's better. Happy with that. Wave to Julian. No, I'm not waving to her. Right. 3 minutes. I put some ground bait in today. I put a bunch of micros in on this pole line and a bunch of dead maggots. That's the plan. Start with some ground bait. I'm just going to put it all in mostly loose. Now I think I'm going to put in 4 pots. Yeah, maybe there's a steam train on there today. We have these are, we don't have them in Dubai, actually. I know these are called trains. You just have helicopters. Yeah, yeah, okay. I can't edit this out, Ash. This is all live, just so you know, right?
Oh. You gotta let me know. You have to, like...
It's on now. It's permanent. It's for 5 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. You can watch my live stream if you want on YouTube.
But can you bleep me out if I swear?
No. I can on the edit, but not on the live. You're not gonna swear. You're a clean cut, nice gentleman. Yeah, these 14 people are watching. Morning, Gary.
Oh, no.
Just chatting to Ashley. He's just realised that I'm live streaming. Now he's worried about swearing. I can see this one coming in, but it's coming in as fast as one of your planes, Ash.
What would you leave it for me?
Don't embarrass me today, okay? Hi, Lee. I was at Tunnel on Wednesday. I was having a cheeky little practice, Lee. I went to Tunnel Barn Farm and I was trying to work out which style of float I want to use for overshotting. So I went with the just intention of trying to work out which float I liked, how much shot I want upon it, and everything else. And I've recorded the session and I'm going to make a little video out of it. Morning, Nigel. I'm good, Nigel. Don't worry. It's the summer season. All right, we're good. I'm going to fish double corn down my right hand margin. But yeah, so I went to Tunnel on Wednesday. I've got the pole masters there in just over a week. And there we go. Right, that's all in. So I'll talk more about a little bit about that probably during the match. Depends on how much time I end up sitting on the bomb. Oh, you know what? I see him, Ash. Just as I'm shipping out to what's the name? I see him. That's not in your peg yet. Oh, look at that. How nice of that was Ashley, right? I'm sitting there fishing next to the fella, competing against him. And he's telling me there's a fish going through my peg. A nice bloke. Right. No, he didn't like that at all, did he? Have you hooked him? It could end up.
Oh, it's karma.
Oh, he's come off, is he? Did you foul hook him? This could just be Graham videoing Ashley catching fish shallow. That's what this could be. Right, I'm just going to drop this next ground bait a little bit shorter. A load of dead maggots. Right, pallet waggler, where are we? So, where are we? Morning everybody, morning Steve, morning Simon. Okay, right, pallet waggler, let's do it. Chuck it slightly to the right today. Got a spare peg to my right, Ashley's to my left. I'm just going to chuck it around to start with. I don't think that was a bite. The same again. I'm going to try and put my catapult my bait out, cast further than my bait, because I think fish are maybe milling around it on the top, and not sitting necessarily straight in it. And then I'm going to just draw it back into the bait and see if I get a bite on that second chance, and then probably cast a few times. I'm not going to cast feed every time I cast. I think that's too much. So I'm going to cast a few more times than I'm feeding today, a little bit differently. You notice that when I cast, you can probably hear it. I just feather it in, so I put my finger to stop the line. It just makes the rig all lie flat or straight forward, so the bait goes the furthest and everything straightens up. So if I do get a bite straight away, everything's tight straight, from the off. It's a really bad explanation of waggler fishing. Hopefully everyone can see all right, just checking that camera. Yeah, no, it's the worst conditions. Wind in my face for the waggler, but I haven't got a choice. I suspect, I've seen loads of fish moving around the lake, so they're up in the water. So fishing on the bomb right now would be pointless. I just need to hope that I catch a few on the waggler, catch some bream on the pole line, and then catch some carp down my edge. That'd be nice. It's like now I can see this fish shooting across the lake. It's about to get into my waggler line, so I'm going to recast. Slightly too far. It's going at a rate, No, I'm going to stick on the waggler. So I'm going to stick on the waggler. For a bit anyway. Waggler then the bomb. Might be the wrong thing, but we'll see. If it's just a shallow fishing in front of me match, then Ashley is going to beat me. I want to see Julian's got one on the far bank. If anyone's watching today on the stream and you're watching live, then Julian, who's often on the channel, he's streaming today, I think, and he's got a fish on 110. That's not a suggestion to go and watch his stream instead, but if you're watching on a PC or wherever you could have two streams up and running, then you'll see some action from us both. Trigger, sorry, I didn't see your message. 6 foot. About 6 foot syndicate, I would say. So my 3 metre hook length, you know, will go down, drift down to like halfway, but most of the fish are sitting right in the top of the water. Well, a lot of the fish are moving around in the top of the water, so if I'm going to get a bite on the pellet waggler, it's going to be, as soon as it hits it, the fish is going to grab it. It's not even going to drop probably a foot, and it's going to scream off. It's probably going to be what happens. Just spooked a fish as I was reading in then. It is tricky with this wind, you know. Fishing a pellet waggler in the wind is not what you're meant to do. Slight technical error. For anyone that was watching the fish show last Wednesday, I got the line stuck under the reel, and I said to myself I must sort that out when I get home. Strip a little bit of line off, and I forgot to do it. So I've just done it again. So quick switch over. No, right. Oh. Did just have a liner on the bomb though. When stuff like this happens, I feel like, I don't know, like I'm fishing on I'm part of the F1 pit crew. I've only got to do running repairs. The only thing you've got to do is be relatively quick and keep an eye on your rod at all times to make sure your rod doesn't go in, because they do. Joke with people about I've been seeing people's rods go in, and I've seen over the years of fishing this venue, plenty of people's rods get dragged in, and then people trying to cast for rods, and people going in for rods, and all sorts. I was once fishing the Middle Lake. This is going back a few years, and I remember getting a bite, and I pulled up. I was fishing just like this with my tournament rod, and I ended up putting up somebody else's tournament rod with a TDR reel attached to it. You know, like 150 pound reel and 150, 200 pound rod. And I took it into the shop to Dennis, and I went, you know, someone is going to come and ask for that. And when they do, tell them it's their lucky day. And lo and behold, 2 days later, someone phoned up and said, oh, I was fishing at the weekend and lost my rod. The only thing that confused me or surprised me was the fact they left it 2 days. Right, what was that, 6 minutes? Not bad for a running repair, I don't reckon. Chuck some pellets down here. Let's get this pellet waggler back out. I don't. No, I wouldn't fish a wafter. I wouldn't fish a wafter. I can't. I've got to have a little think about why I wouldn't fish a wafter. I think because you actually, everything is about getting the fish on the plop. It's not really about the fall. So if you're going to get one, you're going to get one off the cast 90% of the time. So using a wafter, because it's going to, you know, be slightly different in the water, isn't in my mind important. Just fishing with the pellets that I'm fishing on the bomb line with, so no, I don't think I would. I fish a different pellet on the hook. That is true. I use these oily ones because I think it's mostly on the bomb, right? So let me sort of get my words right. If I was fishing straight out pellet waggler today, I'd be fishing a different pellet, a lighter pellet, less oil content. But I don't. I think it's going to be more on the bomb because we're fishing with the wind in our face. So I'm fishing with the darker pellets. I'll show you here. If you can see that, so I'm fishing with these darker, oilier pellets. But for the waggler, I do have some lighter ones. And they're not as heavy, so they'll fall slightly slower. And then on the bomb, as a change, I've got some 11mm pellets. Hopefully you can see all of those. That's the 11mm. So I do have some sort of differences going on. In the pellets that I use. I just need to cast this waggler a lot more, work a lot harder. The trouble about the pellet waggler right now is you cast it out, you get a big bow in the line, it moves the rig. It's not what you want at all, really. But I can't really do anything about it. No, not yet, Kevin. Not yet. I can't see the what's name very well today. I can't see the chat very well. Just trying to lift that up. Can I move that? Back there. You're fishing on the deck, Ashley? You're fishing on the deck?
When the wind stops, you can see them. That's why you needed me on the other bank.
Yeah, I had on the fish show last year. I was opposite Pem, and it's exactly the same. Pem's fishing against dark water with the canal bank, so you got a dark and no ripple, and I had loads of ripple. Yeah. Yeah, I can see their fish at the other side of the rope.
Yeah, you're not. The only way you're going to win today is by catching shallow and bobbing.
No, I think you're right, mate. It's like we lose 3 hours of the match.
Basically, yeah.
And then they might go down and have a few, but yeah.
Not trying to be negative, it's just...
No, I've heard that people have some success like this when it's like this on this bank, just casting the waggler for 5 hours, not feeding anything. Because they don't want to go down. You're hoping with 5 hours of casting, you're plopping that bait in front of one of them's face every now and then.
It's just a game of the numbers game, isn't it? Because you can't see it like
Yeah, yeah, I agree. You're fishing for fish on the top that you can't see. Right, that's our excuses in front of the public. You foul at that. Alright, so I'm just going to keep casting this pellet waggler until I feel it's the right time to go and have a look on the bomb or to look on the pole. I want to give the pole line at least an hour and a half before I have a look at it. And I probably want to give it 2.5 hours before the bomb. What Ashley was just saying was about the anglers on the far bank where there's no ripple. In theory, they should be able to see their fish up in the water better. So they should have more effective, or be more effective casting a waggler or flicking a rig to them. And he's saying that regardless of where they draw, they're going to fish the bomb, and I think he's right. I think the 3 anglers in front of me are all fishing the bomb, or a method feeder, including Julian. Someone tell him to get off that method and start flicking the rig. Oh, it's trouble with the wind. Need to be busy today. I think it's going to be the key to maybe picking up a few fish. I'm going to keep chucking some bait on this right hand margin. Just fishing top kitten 1 down to my right. I'm not tight into the bank because it's really rocky, so I've had to come out. So I'm just going to keep chucking bait down there. Hopefully we'll catch fish in this pole line. My section is the peg to my right all the way to my left on this bank, so 130 to 142 is the section that I'm in. And you always want to do well on these sort of matches. If you don't do well, you know, in the whole match, at least do well in your section. Whereas the other day with the fish show, it was like win or just go home. Today, well, I want to win. I want to at least try and fish and compete with the anglers in my section. Huh? No. I decided it was slightly more to the left than I was happy with. Yeah, I knew that was going to come. But I do. on the fish show last week, everyone's wagglers were going everywhere. It was ridiculous. I think it might be one of those days, everyone. As I was saying the other day in the fish show, you can get to £100 in an hour, but I did them on the bomb line. I don't think they're going to come on the bomb line for a couple of hours. So as I was saying, just me trying to work out which floats do I want to use, how do I want to shot them, how much do I want to overshot them, you know, what works well and what doesn't. And I went to Tunnel Farm on Wednesday for a practice, and I was very happy with the results. I left knowing what I want to start with, and having caught a load of fish on it, I've got a bunch of, you know, I've got a lot of confidence. So if I can, I'm going to make that into an edit this week, just before the event. And I think I say at the end of the video, if I'm true to my word, you'll see me using it on the Pole Masters. So something I need to sort out. Speaking of the Pole Masters, I'm off to Tunnel Farm possibly next Tuesday and Wednesday next week for a practice. I might stream, I might fish an actual practice match, you know, fish it in match conditions, stream the whole thing, and then I've got the official practice match on Sunday the 15th, and then I've got the festival Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 16th, 17th and 18th of June. Hopefully I'll have some good draws on house extensions and new, and then I'll be able to stream. If I draw high Jenny's club or canal, then there'll be no stream because the signal's not good enough. And but I'll still video everything, and then put edits of the 3 days up afterwards, just as I did with the spring festival. So hopefully that'll be good. Get some few fish there. Certainly been no pellet waggler fishing, that's for sure. Trying to read what you were saying. Is there an over 50s match on Tuesday, Simon? Or is it Thursday? I can't see it. Is it Tuesday? That's quite funny. I don't qualify to fish it because I'm not 50 till Wednesday. Hello Austin, how you doing? Welcome to the channel. And hi to everyone else. If you're just joining, you're just an hour and a quarter into the match, and there seems to be quite a few fish milling around in the top or up in the water. I can't see them because of the wind and the ripple, so I'm sort of blindly chucking the waggler around whilst trying to feed for a few fish on the bomb line later if they decide to go down. But I said I want to give that pole line an hour and a half at least, and that's in 15 minutes, so we'll have a little think about that. If you're enjoying the stream, even though we're not catching a lot, if you could hit that like button, I'd appreciate that. Drop a hi in chat. YouTube is constantly looking for interactions on live streams, and a like or a share or a comment all count for that. So if you could do one of those three, that would be great. If you're not subscribed to the channel and you think there could be some good fishing, then I would agree with you and you should hit the subscribe button. It's a free way to support the channel and helps more people find the content and stuff like that. So despite my poor run in the winter and what I would describe currently as a poor run in the spring, I know that the good times are going to come in the summer. Looking forward to the UK river season opening up on the 16th of June, and I'll be back down the river trying to catch myself 30-pounder roach on one of the many matches that I've got planned to fish down there. So lots of action to come, and also a few sessions trying to catch some barbel and carp out of the river. So if you fancy a bit of that, then certainly mark the channel and hit that subscribe button so you can get back. I don't believe you're 63, Simon. It's lies. Saying that, Angela doesn't believe I'm 50 in a week's time either, so I think I'm going to have to bring my birth certificate to try and get in the 50s over 50s matches on the Middle Lake. Otherwise she's not going to let me in. Actually, if you're down at Tunnel on Tuesday, I might pick your brains about cameras. I need something where I can zoom in if you've got any knowledge in that field. Just for the, not the stream sessions, the pleasure fishing sessions where I've got a bit more time to set some stuff up. Oh, look at that. That's my peg in case that goes under. But I don't think you're going to move that pole out of the way if I hook one, so I've decided to bring it back in and recast it. Yeah.
Put it to the boat.
Hey?
Put it to the boat. You actually get my phone on that.
Yeah. Oh, that was a bite. Wow, that was a bite. That was a bite. That float actually went under. All right, hold on a minute. Let's recast that. Go on, have it again. You know, it's when it's been sitting there for that little bit too long, right? And you're like, hold on. Yeah. That's how I caught my first fish on the fish show on Wednesday. I cast out and I'm thinking, I can't see it. Where is it? Leaving that for a little bit longer now, because sometimes you get it with the fish. Follow it down and they're a bit more cautious. Generally not, but sometimes it can happen. And instead of catching on the everything lands in the water, you'll catch when it's just sitting there, you know, 3 foot deep. Sort of like a reverse zig rig. Right, what's the time? Nearly 12 o'clock. Oh, what time did we start? We started 11, didn't we? 11 till 4. Oh, right, so it's only been an hour. What am I doing with my hour and a quarter? Alright, much more casting to be done then. It's my peg, that is. Oh, there we go. Not me, sadly. Ashley next door's caught fish. I think what we'll do is... No? That didn't look like an F1 when you hooked it. Been on the slimming world, is it? Yeah, good point, Simon. Yeah, I can speak to Barry. What do you think of that? Matt, so he's a GoPro. The current setup is GoPro Hero 10, to the GoPro app and then out via a mobile hub, but you can do it straight out your phone. I got the mobile hub because I thought the connection would be a little bit more stable, but actually the last 2 times I've used it, it's dropped out no more or less than the phone did. So all I know is by design it's better to do it through the hub, not a phone, for 5 hours worth of data, you know. Okay, so I'm that seems to have been feels like a long hour, that does. So just coming up to the end of the first hour, no fish to speak of. I've had 1 bite, 1 liner on the bomb, and the current story is that there's fish moving around on the top, so I expect it's going to be just like the fish show. They're moving around on the top now, and then maybe some fish come down on the bomb line later, but for now it's going to be a case of continue casting the waggler, try and put that bait in front of the fish, you know, really opportunistic, and then hook one, and then try and hook another one, and that's the way it's going to be. I fed the pole line, the idea of trying to catch some bream or some silvers. I'm in the silver pool today. I don't know that there's many people in the silverfish pool, but I am, so I'm going to make some effort to try and win that, as well as try to win the main match. But fish just tucked in front of me there, look. Yeah, catch you later, Simon. If not, I'll see you next week or sometime soon. One fish would be good for a little bit of motivation, you know. Keep busy, he says. Keep busy. Everyone's having a nice time. I appreciate everyone coming, by the way. I know I'm not catching much, but I can see there's 47 people watching, so I appreciate that. Maybe we should have the try and get to 100 if everyone can hit the like button and let YouTube send the stream to more people, but I'm not sure I want to do that when I'm not catching much. Then I've got to ride it on my personality and not my catching. So for those just joining, I'm fishing Gold Valley Lakes today. I'm fishing the open match on Syndicate Lake. I'm on peg 131 and I'm just fishing the pellet waggler currently, trying to catch some fish up in the water. There's a lot of carp cruising around, and I think that they'll be cruising around for most of the day. Sun's out, it's quite nice, and then hopefully they're going to go down on my bomb line later where I've been putting loads of pellets. I can catch a few there, if not up in the water now. But it's been an hour and I've had one bite. There's fish cruising around, but I can't see them. There's a ripple. The only one I saw was when I was originally feeding my pole line. I saw and then tried to flick for it and I couldn't. Well, it wasn't interested anyway. But every now and then you see, you know, a ripple or, you know, a little bit of a bow wave where there's a fish moving through, and it just breaks the surface of the water. was saying earlier, I might have a few streams over the next 2 weeks. I'm going to go to a venue called Tunnel Barn Farm next Tuesday and Wednesday, I think. Might be both days, to run through as if I was fishing a match the week after at the Pole Masters, which is the festival I've got to fish. There's some stuff that I want to get sorted out. I never feel like I'm quite prepared enough. So this year I've booked a bit of extra time off work, and I'm going to go and fish a couple of days as if I'm fishing an actual match, just to try and get some stuff sorted out. They allow you to use keep nets at the venue, even if you're pleasure fishing, so I can recreate match conditions. What I can't recreate is people around me, but it's still going to be really useful to hopefully try and work some stuff out. So look out for live streams on Tuesday and or Wednesday next week. Before the main event, the main practice match is on the Sunday, the 15th. I'll be fishing that. And then if possible, I will stream all 3 days of the event on the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday the week after, on the 16th, 17th and 18th of June. So unlike this venue where this is lots of big carp, that venue is lots of F1s, so a lot more bites, a lot more action. So I can see a fish just going through there. Just trickling in 2 or 3 pellets, or 3 or 4 pellets I should say, every now and then when I cast in. It's meant to be helping attract some fish for the waggler, but it doesn't seem to be doing so. So it'll just be laying a bunch of bait on the bottom. See, there's a few fish there moving about now. But they're cruising, they're not. I don't think they're stopping to eat at all. I had a little bit of a lesson from the guy to my left, Ashley, who's a bit of an expert at this shell, so he's not really doing any better than me. Well, I don't know, he's got 1 fish, I'm blanking. Yeah, I've got to, there's a couple of things I've got to practice, Lee. I've got to practice fishing 14.5 metres, because if I go and draw on club pool, then I need to fish 14.5 metres to the island. And when I drew there last year, it really showed that I was out of practice. Just, you know, even I didn't know which catapult to use. So, ironically, I remember which catapult to use, but it's things like that. I've got to get comfortable, because I don't fish 14.5 metres very often, but I can recreate that on Extension Lake and still try and stream. So, I've got to sort that out. You'll see on the video, if I publish it, where I was fishing overshotted rigs, but my feeding was just, well, it's horrendous. Horrendous. I can be that self-critical. It was in the wrong place. It wasn't often enough. I think a lot of it was because I was thinking about what I was trying to say on the camera, and, you know, also trying to work stuff out in my head about what was going on with the floats and things like that. But I think I said at one point in that video, it doesn't really matter which of these floats I use. What matters is I need to sort my feeding out. sometimes say to some people that's the difficulty where I'm fishing here at a carp venue, fishing the waggler and a bomb and down the edge, and then I go to the river and I'm fishing 30 metres for bream and roach. Then I'm going to go and try and catch a barbel. You know, lots of different disciplines. And if you look on the if you look at the Tunnel Barn Opens, you'll see a set of anglers that are fishing every single open in the weeks leading up to the festival. And actually they're taking bookings for the opens weeks before the festival, weeks before the opens. Which I didn't think they did, but they clearly are. So yeah, I'm going to go. So when I get to that practice match on Sunday, I'm going to already be practiced. Already have had a practice. Meat will be done now. There won't be much meat fishing at Tunnel, I don't think. It'll be on its way out. Might start on it. You might start. I think I remember in the last year in the Pole Masters, I started meat on all 3 days, and I think for 2 days I didn't catch on it, so I might just as well fish expanders down the edge, or even hard pellet down the edge with micros. That's what I want to sort out, you know. I want to re-watch my video from last year and the one from the year before. They're both on my channel, so, and I've still got the full video somewhere, so I can see how I started my last 6 matches at the same time of year. But meat's always on its way out come the Pole Masters, and the fish are moving from caster shallow to maggot shallow. But you need casters just in case you draw up against a load of reeds on club or somewhere like that. And now they're cutting the reeds down and they're not allowing you to garden in the peg, so you can't pull stuff out from your edges. You can't fold any reeds over. It'll be interesting to see how that changes it, because a lot of the pegs will have no cover. So maybe it's a lot more, ends up a lot more worm fishing on the deck. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But that's why I think some people are fishing now, to try and, you know, get that information before the event, right? Can you imagine turning up at the event thinking you're going to catch a load of fish fishing casting shallow, and because of the lack of cover, everyone's catching with micros and worms in the middle. God, can't get that wrong, right? Can't get that wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep on the waggler for the next quarter of an hour, then I'm going to look on the pole line, see if there's any fish. If there's no fish on the pole line, I think I'm going to chuck the bomb out, have a look on the bomb line, Watching Ashley, he's putting loads of pellets on his pole line. Oh, what, a tunnel? No, I'm not. Maybe I'm making it sound bad. I've got my match plan sorted out in my head already, so I just need to go and practice it. Good fish meat, good go fish meat. You know, there'll be a bunch of people that do. They'll start on meat short, for sure. Another cheeky fish, Ashley.
Yeah. I've just missed 2 bites on the wag, and I've just had one down the edge.
You've had a fish down the edge?
It's an S1, spot boat.
An hour into the match, you're down the edge catching F1s. You might as well pack up, mate.
If we could log, we'd catch.
Yeah, I know. Oh, it's solid down the edge, is it? Yeah. I don't believe you. Oh yeah, I'm not talking about, you know, yeah, there are venue regulars, you know, Richard Kings, Leon Seabright, you know, great meat anglers, love it. But we'll see. I'll go down and work it out. That's the purpose of the practice. That's the purpose of the practice. Right. A couple of minutes early. Let's go and stick some cut tin maggots on. Let's get over this pole line. See if there's a nice 4-pound bream sitting there waiting to be caught. Now there's probably, yeah, I've got an adapter, hold on. you will be able to see in a minute. So I want you to give this long. If they're here, then I'm going to know about it straight away. That float will go under, and I'll look a carp on my 013 size 18 hook. Come on, bream. So I did a couple of things. Firstly, when I was putting in the bait, I've put one sort of to the left, one sort of to the right, one slightly closer, like in a little triangle. The bream here quite often like to sit off the feed. It's really common, so you can like catch one and then they'll move off. And I forgot to get my dolly bot out, but I will get my dolly bot out if I catch one and then it's really quiet. I'll just rest it, let them come, and then maybe fish a little bit further to try and catch one. But quite often, if they've turned up the bream, then they will have eaten the dead maggot, and then so you get a bite really quickly generally, and then and if not, then it's a sign that, you know, they're not there, and you can leave it alone for another hour or half an hour. Then becomes a question of, do you top it up or not? And then the general rule of thumb is, if you fed and then you top it up, you risk attracting carp. But I don't mind attracting carp. That was a fish for sure. Float came up a little bit. Ashley next to me, that's just, is that your third F1, Ash? There's no skimmers in here, what are you talking about? It's not a skimmer, is it? It's a 4-pound bream. It's a 3-pound bream. It's not a skimmer. Right. Made me look a bit of an idiot now. Actually, he's got one little carp, 2 F1s and a bream. Yeah, what was I saying? If you feed over your ground bait, it just seems to be the sort of rule that you attract carp in. But let's stand there for a bit longer, encouraged by that bite. It was either a bite or a line, or it's lifted the dropper up. So the float hasn't gone under, the float's come up. I don't really understand how Ashley's fishing that edge line. I've set my edge up to catch carp today, 021, 019 to a size 12. I would have expected him to do similar, so I'm quite surprised to hear he's catching F1s and bream in his edge. I assume he's fishing to the left, not towards me. Right. Anyways, I'm fishing, just then I was fishing for bream, but I'm fishing at a carp, predominantly a carp venue today, so I'm fishing for carp at a place called Gold Valley Lakes in Aldershot, and it's proving a little bit elusive right now. for a little go on the bomb, I think. Just refed that pole line as you saw, so we're going to give that half hour. Then I'll go and have another look. And I fed that edge line to my right. Been checking those pellets, but I've just chucked a bunch of ground bait down there. But for now, I'm going to sit on the bomb for a bit. Liner or an F1 bite, not sure what that was, just went sort of dink dink. Excuse me. Just trying to work out what the right thing to do is going to be. I think a couple of chucks on this bomb is the right thing to do. Just fished that waggler for an hour and not had a fish. I don't see any more fish out there now than there was at the beginning of the match. So I think it's right to try and have a go on the bomb. See if there's any fish down there. I'm going to give that pole line another half an hour and then go back and out again after I've fed it again. And I think I'll then be in a situation of checking it every half an hour. What I'm not sure about right now is, should I go and switch that pole line and just start firing some pellets over it and flicking the rig, but I don't think so. I think I'd rather catch some fish on the bomb like this. No? Yeah? No, it's not. It's not yours. Thanks for that advice. Hear that? Ashley, who holds the lake record at about £300, his advice is don't lose it. Black. It was black with fish that day when you caught all those fish, wasn't it?
It was solid, absolutely ridiculous. And I'm not being funny, I would have had 400, but I had to keep going begging for nets.
That's hilarious. Yeah. I think they've all lost half their weight by now. No, I've got it on the bomb, Ash, actually.
You got it on the bomb?
Yeah. Well, as I say all the time, and I do genuinely believe this, you can have £100 in an hour.
You are?
You can have £100 in the hour on the bomb.
Oh, you can do, yeah.
So you can never write it off.
Well, you could see them, we'd have probably had £80 to £90 anyway.
Right. It's a F1, Ash. It's F1 about £8.
Well, they are getting big now.
No, I'm only messing about, it's a carp. Right, so now I've been feeding pellets for 2 hours on that bomb line. So hopefully them fish are going to be mine. I don't know how much you saw of that, but that was alright. Usual bomb bite, tip went shooting straight round, peeling line off the reel, and then relatively nice easy fight. No messing about. Fish came up relatively easily given the size of it, and I've put £8 on the clicker. Oh, that looks like you've got a fish on there, Ash.
Yeah.
That looks like you've got a fish on there.
Yeah, gudgeon.
Doesn't look like a gudgeon.
They're getting big in there now. There's not many. You know, when you get one.
You weren't meant to catch that on that waggler.
Right.
Because I've put a lot of effort feeding that bomb line and you haven't fed at all. You fed your pole line, that's it.
So many odd pellets are coming in my pen. I thought
Oh, is that my fish then? Was that fish eating my pellets? That sounds like we're going arms up today now. Didn't want that. That's it, get the wind back. Get the wind back. Come on, go around again. So we need chat. No. That was a liner. Maybe I can see the fish there. What is that I wound into? What's that snag out there?
You got another one?
No, I just reeled it into a snag. Unusual. That's the end of my hook then. What's that about? What is that about? Oh. Okay. Bite or line, I don't know. So it just went and stopped. Wasn't massive. I'd have struck. So I suspect it was a liner. I think there's a fish moving in front. It could have been that. What's the weight on that float, Ashley?
You what?
What's the weight of that float?
3 grams.
3?
3.
What are you fishing with? £2 hook, £2 main line?
0.10 braid.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, honestly.
It's a liner. Is that really 0.10 braid? Well, I don't doubt it, because you can cast it quite a range.
If there was flat calm, I'd hit the rope. Wind off the back, I could get near the rope on one side.
Really?
Yeah.
What made you switch to braid?
A few years ago, scaling down hooklet, line cast little floats,
Yeah.
I kept getting broke. And I can't get on, I just can't fish with like main line. And I walked in the shop in a bit of a huff and I went, I swore, so I won't do it now, but I went, why can't someone make a line that's like 0.10 and £100? And Will said, have you thought about braid? And I went, oh. So I went and bought a spool, tried it, and I never looked back.
You not end up with loads of trouble with wind knots though?
No, not really. No. Takes a bit of getting used to, because when they're feeding aggressively, you've got to have the clutch set really loose, because say the bite's a savage,
Yeah, I understand.
but personally, it's just for me, I can't, unless I have to fish with raw. I don't fish anything else. It's amazing how many more bites you feel. Not necessarily see, but you feel them.
Yeah, I think the fish shy off of the waggler now, I think.
Yeah, I mean, even this is
Well, there's a tip for you all. Simon, I've had one carp on the bomb, £8. Just talking to Ashley, he's fishing. I'm just noticing how far he's chucking his waggler. It's not making a lot of noise. I've just asked him. He said it's a 3 gram waggler. He's fishing with 010 braid. Which is significantly different to my £8 main line 9 gram waggler. I do wonder if the fish, so I think they're a bit more spooky in here these days and a bit more wise, if they're just showing off the pellet waggler, or my pellet waggler. That's certainly something to come and try one day. So, where are we? 1 o'clock. Time for a quick update. One fish on the bomb, £8. That's what I've put on the clicker. Wind is all over the place. I didn't have any signs on the pole, so I've refed the pole line. I've fed my margin to my right. I'll put some more ground bait micros and maggot on the pole line, and I've put some ground bait pellets and corn down to my right. I'm just going to stay on this bomb for a little bit longer. I've had a couple of indications, probably liners, but I'll stay on it for a bit longer. Yeah, for sure, Anthony, you know, certainly I can learn a few things off Ashley. As I said to everyone, you know, this is what you learn on, you know, when you fish live and you fish competitions and you talk to people. You know, how many people are fishing braid on a waggler? It seems alien to me, but I understand it. I understand everything you're saying, but I would assume you get too many problems with wind knots. So, you know, that's quite interesting. It's got a fish opposite me on the bomb, or the method. But yeah, certainly a lot to be learnt from other angles, so it's always worth a chat, be friendly. No, Anthony, I'm on Syndicate 131. I fished the waggler for an hour for one bite. We're in the wind, it's slightly just changed, it's coming across us now, but it's been blowing in our face for the first hour. Relatively calm on the far bank, as you'd imagine. It does feel like 101, yeah. It feels like my last 10 visits to Syndicate Lake. Yeah, he was saying, Ashley was saying, Simon, that, you know, venue permitting, you know, he wouldn't fish anything else than the braid. But as a, is it 2 times Fish South winner? I'm not sure if Ashley's won it 2 or 3 times in a row. He knows what he's doing. He's He's a very good angler indeed. So we'll give this another. Oh, okay, was that me? I've just turned away and I've just turned back and I can't decide if my tip was moving. Well, that was just me playing tricks on myself. We'll give this another chuck or two and then we'll have another look on the pole line, I think. I need to get my dolly bot out of the bag. As I was saying, those bream do like to back off. So I'll get that little extension out. It's all gone wrong, Ash. Everyone's just telling me how good you are. Anthony Flint says you're a great angler. Simon Duke says you're a great angler. What did I say? The two times Fish South winner? Is it 2 or 3 times you won that? Is it 3? It's 3 out of 3, isn't it? Well, lucky 3 times in a row. Right, another chuck. What's that? I'm sure they should guess you a ticket into the final based on previous. You should suggest it. Where is it? Oh, I've seen one video, but that's Essex way, isn't it? Yeah. I've seen a video on it before. Right. Looks like that might be my only bombfish for a while then. Just try and decide the sequence of what I'm going to do next. I'll give this another 6 to 8 minutes, I think. Then I'll have another look on the pole. And then I think I'm going to be chucking the waggler back out again. Come on, Tip. Come on, go round, go round. Get find those geese, shall I? Right, let's have another look on the pole line. I think just need to get that dolly butt. Hopefully I won't lose connection. If I do, I'll be back in a minute. Come on, go under.